him. I don't mind any of them. You got Pocahontas is rising. You got Kamala. Kamala is falling. You got Beto. Beto is like gone. But we'll see what happens. Whoever it is, I don't know that it matters. But whoever it is, different people. But I don't know. I think Sleepy Joe may be able to limp across the finish line. But today they announced that they're going to cut way back on his appearances because he is such a disaster. They're going to have fewer appearances. You've heard that, right? This is serious. They're going to cut way back on his appearances. Can you believe it? If I ever did that, it would be over. The fake news would get us, but we don't let them get us, and it is fake. And today, the deputy editor of the New York Times was demoted. Isn't that beautiful? All the news that's not fit to print, you know? All the news, the fake, failing New York Times. So, why do I go with, why do we go? You know, it's really we, it's not me. We're doing it together. They came from the hills. They came from the mountains, from the rivers, they came from all over the place. And they showed up, and they voted like nobody's seen before. And it was 306 to 223, remember? 306. And we won Wisconsin, and they said, oh, we never thought of that. Got to think about those things. And we won Michigan, and now we have a lot of car companies coming into Michigan. And we have a lot of great farming events happening really big in Wisconsin. And we have incredible things going on in Pennsylvania. We just opened up a $10 billion plant. We have many of them going up. Many of them, a lot of jobs. Spending in Louisiana, an LNG plant, $10 billion. Could never have happened. Could never have happened. Pennsylvania would have never happened. They wouldn't have allowed him to frack. So they would have never been able to build it. But what a place that is. It'll be open in a little more than a year. But I have to make a decision. It's a big decision. Do we give up the greatest theme, phrase, logo, whatever you want to call it, in the history of politics, risky, for a brand new one? Because Make America Great Again, we're really sort of there, and we have a little time left. And now we have a group of socialists or communists, could be. They're not far away. Now the fake news will hit me on that. How dare he say that? But they're not far away, right? They're not far away. 95% tax. Does anybody want to pay 95% tax in the world? I don't think so. So, but I'm not going to go into their plan. Because as far as I'm concerned, the Green New Deal is a beautiful thing. No, it's a beautiful thing. We want it to continue on until about a month before the election. I will let them have it like you've never heard before. I don't want it to change. It's like Elizabeth Warren.
Oh, God.
I did the Pocahontas thing. I hit her really hard. And it looked like she was down and out. But that was too long ago. I should have waited, but don't worry. We will revive it. It can be revived. It can be revived, right? It will be revived. And it can be revived very easily and very quickly. And we're going to have some fun in the state of New Hampshire. Now, what do we do? Ready? Let me have first Make America Great Again, then Keep America Great, right? Just applaud like crazy for the one you want to use for this campaign.
What?
And there's a possibility we'll use both.
Yeah, but I need
There's a possibility we'll use both. Because I hate like hell to give up the one. There's a possibility we'll use both, maybe one a little bit less. Are you ready? So we'll start Make America Great Again, and then Keep America Great. Yeah? Are you ready? Who's in favor of the campaign theme being Make America Great Again? Who's in favor of our theme being Keep America Great? So, oh wait a minute, this is your hat. I was gonna keep it actually. Thank you. Thank you. So that's really been the reaction. I've done this before, big crowds, and it really is Keep America Great, because we have these socialists who want to take it away from us. They want to take it away. Philip wants it. Because until a couple of days ago, and that'll catch up very quickly, we have no choice. By the way, I never said China was going to be easy, but it's not tough, and they want to make a deal. We just spoke to them yesterday. They want to make a deal. They want to make a deal. They have to make a deal. And you know what? It'll be wonderful to make a deal. I don't think we're ready to make a deal. We're taking in billions of dollars in tariffs. And again, China's devaluing their currency. They're pouring out money. The prices haven't gone up, so that means we're taking in billions of dollars we're not paying for it. And ultimately, their devaluations are going to hurt them very badly. They want to make a deal, and they should want to make a deal. But when you listen to the fake news, look at how many there are. That's unbelievable. I mean, I actually had something today. I had something today. Are we sure that we're in New Hampshire? Reputation, I mean, I know it's not true because I know you too well. You have a reputation of being very staid, very, very elegant, staid, incredible people. You're not acting it tonight. And that's good. That's a good thing. We love our country. We have enthusiasm for our country, right? That's what it is. That's what it is. That's what it is. Before the election, our factories were closing. Hey, who knows it better than you? You're like central casting for the closing of factories. Our jobs were vanishing. Our military was totally depleted. When I took over, our military was sad. We weren't flying half of our planes. They were old. They were tired. Our equipment was tired. Our people weren't tired, though. Our people weren't tired. But everything we had, it was depleted. Now we've rebuilt our military like never before. And all made in the USA, just so you know. And our nation was weakened at home and disrespected abroad. They don't disrespect us anymore, folks. I got NATO to pay an extra $100 billion they weren't paying. They were delinquent. Many nations were, except for 7, many nations weren't paying what they were supposed to be paying. So we're supposed to protect them. They kill us on trade. They have all sorts of barriers and everything else. The taxes are really unfair. The tariffs were ridiculous what they do to us in Europe. And then we protect them, yet they don't pay. And I say, I'm sorry, folks, you have to pay. You have to pay. They were delinquent. They were delinquent. And my biggest fan is Secretary General Stoltenberg from NATO. He said until President Trump came along, we were going boom. They would have been finished very quickly. But I'm tired of paying for other nations anyway, I have to be honest with you. And today our nation is stronger than ever before. We're now stronger than ever before. You saw we ended the Iran disaster. How about that? We paid them $150 billion, $1.8 billion in cash. Cash, cash, cash. We got nothing. And they also want to make a deal. China wants to make a deal. And I will tell you, Iran wants to make a deal because the sanctions are not good for them. They are not happy. So we'll see how it all turns out, but it's in good hands. It's in good hands. The United States right now has the hottest economy anywhere in the world. We're rebuilding that awesome might that we were just talking about. Our United States Armed Forces. America is working again. America is winning again. And America is respected again, respected like never before. They respect us again, and you see it. You know, a recent poll came out where it showed that President Obama was more popular in Germany and other places than I am. And I said, of course he's more popular. He's not demanding that they pay for their protection that we provide. He's not doing that. I'm doing that. And in fact, if I was the most popular, I'm not doing my job right. So true. We've created over 6 million new jobs since the election. If I would have said that during the campaign, those people back there would have been headlines, headlines. More than 7 million Americans have been lifted off of food stamps. Since my election, the number of new businesses starting in the great state of New Hampshire has skyrocketed by almost 25%. And you can't really go by my election. You got to go by November 9th because, you know, the markets have gone through the roof since November 9th. That's the day after I won the election. So I won the election, the markets went up thousands of points, things started happening, you started doing things that you would have never, even though I didn't get sworn in until January 20th. But they refused to do that. And let me tell you, if for some reason I wouldn't have won the election, these markets would have crashed. And that'll happen even more so in 2020. See, the bottom line is, I know you like me, and this room is a love fest, I know that, but you have no choice but to vote for me, because your 401ks, down the tubes, everything's going to be down the tubes. So, whether you love me or hate me, you got to vote for me. The other day, one of the most successful guys in the country. I've never liked him, never liked him. He never liked me, I never liked him. I see him in the White House. I said, what are you doing here? He said, I'm working to make sure you get elected. I said, you gotta be kidding. You don't like me, I don't like you. What the hell is this all about? He said, that's right, we've had our differences. I haven't liked you, but to be honest with you, Mr. President, I have no choice. I said, you're right. You're right. First thing I've ever heard him say that I agreed with. He's got no choice. He got no choice. Unemployment in New Hampshire has reached the lowest rate in actually 31 years, but within a very short period of time, it will be the lowest rate in the history of our country. So think of that. You have the best unemployment, you have the most successful state in the history of your state, and in the history of our country, and then you're going to vote for somebody else? Oh, great. Let's vote for Elizabeth Pocahontas Warren. We have the best numbers we've ever had. Let's vote for somebody else. I don't think that's going to happen, folks. I don't think that's going to happen. Only with fixed polls does that happen. Unemployment for African Americans, you've heard me say this many times, I'm very proud of it. Hispanic Americans and Asian Americans have all reached their lowest rates ever recorded in the history of our country. Wages are rising quickly. Remember when I used to say people have been working 2 and 3 jobs making less money than they made 21 years ago? I used to say it all the time. Now I can say, for the first time in 20 years, wages are rising, and you know who's the biggest beneficiary? Blue-collar workers. My administration is fighting to expand opportunity for citizens of every background and every race, religion, color, and creed. Very important. Because we are all Americans. We all share the same home. We all share the same heart. We all share the same dreams. We are all children of the same Almighty God. But at the very moment when our country should be coming together to enjoy these wonderful blessings, the radical Democrats are trying to tear America apart. They vilify anyone who doesn't share their extreme views. They slander our law enforcement heroes. You see what they're doing with our police that we love. You see what they're doing? Has anyone ever seen anything like the water being thrown on New York's finest? Have you ever seen it? And I know a lot of New York's finest. They're not happy. They're not happy. And they are great people. These are great, great, proud people. For that to be allowed to happen is a disgrace. They view everybody as fascist and Nazis. They use the term Nazi. This was a term, you couldn't even use it. Now they use it like on a regular basis, a Nazi. He's a Nazi. Think of that. He's a Nazi. You couldn't use it. Now they use it. They accuse our heroic border agents of running concentration camps. And they do an incredible job. And the Democrats don't want to fix the loopholes or asylum. They do an incredible job, our border agents. And they look down upon the hardworking citizens who truly make our country run. But while the Democrats rage and resist,